In today's video, we are going to discuss the end games, rook end games, the basic end games, and queen end game, basic game. And in this first position, I'm going to illustrate you the idea that how to win this position. If black plays one wrong move over here in this position, it white plays one wrong move in this position, is going to draw this game. And only one move is there which is going to win. Now remember the rule. If the pawn is on fifth rank, fourth rank, and the king is on third rank, you are not going to hit the pawn from the back. The first and the foremost rule is that you are going to cut the file. You are going to cut this rank over here. This is the rank. This is the first move. That you are going to cut the rank for this king and push black to move his pawn to 3 or to c3 or c2. Then you are going to take it. Or ask him to push the pawn to c3 and then you are going to take it. So let's continue. Rook g5 is the main move. Cutting the king. Now if c3, then rook g3. After c2, this pawn is being captured. But what happens if white plays wrongly over here? Sorry. If white plays wrong and white wants to take this pawn from behind and plays the move rook c8. And here, sorry, sorry, here white draws the beginning. The reason behind is that now black can shoulder this pawn and white would be had nothing to give away the checks to black king. Nothing more can do. Let's analyze it. After king d5, white tries to get closer to king, but king d4, as this check allows white to develop further. Because after rook c8, now king is on d3. So instead of here, white could try rook b8, but still it is in vain because c3, rook b1, king d3, rook a1, pawn c2, king f7, king d7. It is in vain because king comes here and rook have to give check, and this is. Now you see that you can't attack this pawn from behind. The first and the foremost rule is that you are going to cut this king and force black to play the move c3. And when the c3 is being played, then you attack this pawn. After c2 is played, then you can attack it by playing the move to rook c3. Even the move this fails, rook d8 check, because after that king c5, rook check, king b4, king tries white king tries to come into the game. But now c3, king g6, now king b3, and white has nothing to just give the checks. So remember the rule that you are going to cut the king. Now this black king is cut. If black gives a move over here, king c6, what you have? What you do? You just bring your king closer to this pawn. If again king d6, king f6. If again king c6, then what? Now you play the move king e6, not coming in the way of this rook. After that, now he is being forced to play the moves c3, and now what happens? You play the move rook g3. If he goes for this, then you capture it. So now you have understood the idea that you are going to work whatever the case. First thing you are going to do is that you are going to block the way of the king. Rook g5. I hope you have understood the idea. Now we go back to our next position. Now if the king is connected to this pawn, kindly pause the video and assess this position as I have already discussed in my previous example. What is it? Is it a win for white or is it a draw? I hope you have understood the position, that what happens in it. This position is a draw. The reason behind is that this king is connected to this pawn. And it is a draw if white plays wrong. If white plays correctly, then it is a win for white. I just gave before an ambiguous statement just to let you people double-minded. But the actual point is that still you are going to come with sorry, if it is a white's move, then it is a draw. It is a win. If it is black's move over here, then it is a draw. I'm going to correct it. If it is a white's move, he immediately will counter it by playing the move rook g5, forcing black to play the move c4 or go over here. But in that do, of course, this king can come near. Now king d5, rook g7 check, sorry, rook g5 check, king d4, king g7, c4, king f6, c3, king comes to g2, king d3, and white cannot stop him from queen, because if he gives the check, king will come over here. If the king comes nearer, then he will go over here to c2. If rook comes to g1, then it's queen. So if it is white's move in this position, sorry, black's move in this position, then it is a draw. If it is white's move in this position, for example, yeah, it is the white's move in this position. Now remember the rule that you are going to first cut the path of black. This is what you are going to do first, and you will play the move rook g5, cutting the path of black. Now if black tries to go from here, what you will go? You can bring your king near to this pawn. King b5, still he is pinned to it. King f7, king b4, king f5. Now, if pawn is moved to c4, then what? King e5, c3. Now, king d4, first bringing the king near to this pawn. After c2, now rook c5. Note the defense like this because you are going to lose. The maneuver will be long, but you are going to lose because after this, the maneuver will be long. Instead of it, the best move over here is to hit it from over here. Now you can hit it from the file over here. Instead of going over here. Sorry, instead of going over here. It is still a win. But first, the win was in less moves, now it is in more moves. So remember, if it is white's move, the first thing you are going to do that you are going to get the tempo by playing the move rook g5. Now you have a tempo. And black has to come from here. He has to make extra 3 moves, and in extra 3 moves, your king will be nearer to this pawn. Don't try to counter it from the back. Remember, never try to counter it from the back. Now, because this is a draw, after this, you will bring over here the king. Now c4, you can't come closer to it. You can't come closer to it. Sorry. You king here, then this one, king e3, stopping the way of this king. This is a mistake if you go over here. Now it is a win for white because he can come closer to this pawn. In this type of position, after the check, you are going to counter the path of this white king. Remember that you are going to counter the path of this white king. Don't make a mistake like this. King c3. Now you are going to lose because in the next move king is near. King has come nearer to this king. So again the best move is rook g5. Black goes to king c6. Now you can bring your king nearer. After king b4, king f6. After king 2, b4, sorry. Now king e5. After c4, king d4, c3, and now rook c5. This is the way to counter the pawn. So I hope you have understood this example in detail, that how to counter a single pawn, even if it is connected, how to counter it. Now we are going to discuss an example of 2 pawns. Now it is white's move and black's king is very far away. Black has a rook over. Now stop and think that is it possible that white could win over here, or he can just draw the game? Just think over it. I hope you have assessed the position that this is actually a draw, and how white draw is that he's going to sacrifice this b3 pawn and he's going to advance his king to b6, and then he is going to advance this pawn. Let's check it out. For example, king c5, black tries to move, bring the king nearer. King b6, b2, a5, rook into pawn check, king c7, king f7, a6. King tries to come more closer, playing king e7, now a7. Now rook a3, and this is a draw because there is nothing that could do after king check. Rook has to move, king. This is a draw. Let's see what happens if white tries to save these two pawns and try to move them side by side. What happens? If king to b5, king g7, pawn b4. Now black is going to. The reason behind is that black king is far away and black pawn is far away from these, and this king is going to come very fast to this side. King e8, a6, king d8, and black reaches this corner and stops both of these pawns, and he is not going to give this rook for the king d6, king c8. Now if you play the move e7 mistakenly, then what happens? Rook a4, attacking this pawn. You move this pawn above, then rook e3, king has to move, and when the king moves, this pawn falls. Once again, king b5, you are going to bring your king nearer to this side where these pawns are going to go in. Always try to win the position. So king g7. If white makes a mistake and playing the move b4, then he is very far away because this king reaches over here in just 4 moves. So instead of it b4, he tries a5. What happens? King f8. Now king b6 and rook b2. This pawn falls and same position arises because after a6, rook into b3 check, king c7, the same position arises. But what happens if black plays a blunderous move? Black plays a move king e8. Now e6, king d7, now king b7. He is saying that I am going to win this pawn. Now the first move is king rook b2. After a7, this is a check, and king is the counter. You have to move the rook, and king comes here. You gives the check. So even these two pawns are played correctly, then one of that becomes the queen. But if black plays correctly and white blunders, then he can mate him. So remember the rule. In this position, when a pawn is on third rank and the second pawn is on fourth rank, this position is a draw. And remember, in this type of position, you goes for this way and tucks your king in this corner and go for a stalemate chance. And always be fast than your opponent king. So I hope you have understood this position. The rook against two pawns when they are on third rank and when they are on fourth rank. Now we will look at the queen ending. In the queen ending, remember a rule. If a pawn is on H, G, E, D, B or A, for example, A2, B2, D2, E2, G2, H2, and king is accompanied with it, then it is a win for white, which has a queen. If the pawns are on, remember, on H, on G, on E, on D, on B or A, then it is a win for white. How it is a win? Let's see. Queen D8 check, king goes to C2, queen A5, king moves back to D1, queen A1 check, king D2, queen D4 check, king C1, queen E3 check, king D1, queen D3 check, king E1, and now you can bring your king with tempo. Once again, you are going to give the checks to this king, bring your queen to these squares on the opposite color of this pawn, are giving the checks and gets a tempo that your king moves closer to this pawn, and after you take this pawn and mates the opponent king. Once again, queen d8 check, king c2, queen a5 check, sorry a5, controlling this diagonal, queen here, king has to move back, king d1, now queen a1 check, king d2, now queen d4 check, king c1, queen e3 check, threatening this pawn, king has to move, king d1, queen d3 check, king e8, now you bring your king, king c7, king goes out of the way. Now again you start giving checks to king. King check, king f1, queen f4 check, king g2, queen comes to e3, threatening this pawn over here. King has to defend, king comes over here, check, king e1, you bring your king further nearer to this pawn. King d2, again queen f4 check, king d1, queen d4 check. Remember the matter. The queen is going to move like this over here. If it is here, then it is going to move like this. And tuck this king in this corner, sorry, in front of the pawn. Then he is going to move his king. After king c1, you give the check, king c3 check, king d1, you give the check, king has to move to protect this pawn. Now you bring your king once again forward. After queen f2, queen d2, king has to move, queen f4 check, king goes to g2, now once again queen to e3, threatening this pawn. Again king f1, queen f3 check, king comes over here, and now you move your king to d4. Now king tries to run to over here. Now you can strict same, give the check, king to d3 check. For example, king comes over here, now king comes over here. After king f1, queen into pawn check, king g1, and now a simple move, king f3. After king, we are going to mate. So same applies over here. The sequence is same. You are going to give the check, king moves over here, you give the check, king moves over here, you give the check, king moves over here. On g pawn, same sequence applies. Then you will bring your king near over here, and queen will take, and this will be a checkmate. In the third position, I have told you that we have studied this E pawn, G pawn, and on B pawn the same thing applies. Queen F5 check. You can start from here. King C1. Now on Queen F1 check. King C2. Queen C4 check. King moves over here. Queen comes over here. King comes protecting this pawn. Queen check. King comes here. And now you are going to move the king. And you are going to bring the king over here. Or you can just bring the king over here and mate the king like here. Now this is tricky. If the pawn is on c5, c2 or f2, then it is a draw. If the king and queen are very further away, then it is a draw. And I'm going to explain you the reason that why it is a draw. The reason behind is that, for example, queen gives the check over here, queen b4 check. King comes over here, king c1, king f7, king d1, and queen gives the check over here. You are going to run over here into this corner. Remember the rule, if you have this type of position and you have c2 pawn or f2 pawn, then you are going to run the side of corner, in the corner. If the king is here, for example, on here, then you are going to run to this corner. The reason behind is that when this queen will have taken this pawn, then your king would have no move left, and it would be a stalemate. Now, once again, remember the rule. If the pawns are on c2 or f2, then you have to run towards the corner. This way, you are going to run towards the corner. And if your queen gives the check over here, then you runs towards the corner. If it takes the pawn, he mistakenly takes the pawn, then it is a stalemate. And in other sense also, it is a draw. So queen p4 check, king c1, trying to run towards the corner. King f7. Okay, no, you are not allowing king d1. Now queen check, queen d4 check. Your one runs towards the corner. King tries to come forward. You runs over here. Queen b4 check. Now king a2. King c3. King b1. Give the check and you go over. Now if queen takes this pawn, it is a draw. There is nothing that white can do over here, because he gives the king move, then he makes the queen. So you have to defend it, and he goes for continuously giving the checks. You go over here. He goes for the check. You go over here. He gives the check. Okay, no problem. You go over here. Remember the rule that if you have c pawn or f pawn on the 7th hand, runs towards the corner. In our next example, we have this f pawn. Now where are we going to run? We are running towards the corner. It is a draw. Queen e7 check, you are running towards the corner. King f1. Queen comes to e3, you are still running to the corner. King f7, king g2. White have to give check, okay. King h2. He has to give check, okay. Here, if he gives the check over here, g3, you runs towards the corner. He has nothing better to give the check. You come here, he gives the check, you come here. If it takes, it is a draw. I hope you have understood. the reason behind this, that how to draw this position. If it is h1, it is a draw. The problem is the placement of this queen. Reason behind is that if he goes for queen a8 check, you goes for over here. He goes for a1 check, you goes for over here. You goes for over here, he comes here. Like that, he comes here. He goes here, check, king here. You check, king here. Check, king there. Check, and now you are tucked away. And this is also a draw. And the king is far away. The reason is that the king is far away. Also, this is also a draw. I have um, told the wrongly that this h pawn and a pawn are basically a win for white. No, it is not a win for white. It is a draw for white. Black on black also. It is a draw. The position is this a pawn. It is still a draw. The reason behind is that this king is going to tuck away when the queen will be on this file, and the queen will have to give the way, and this king will move to b1. That I'm going to queen it. Queen gives check over here again. Kings again tucks away over. Let's see, for example, queen check, king comes over here. Queen check, king b1. Queen has to give the check, king a1. The queen gives the check on the first rank, king b2. Queen d2 check, king comes over here. D2 has to give the check, and king tucks away. So this is also a draw. Only the this is also a draw. Only these positions where black has these pawns, then it is a win for white. I clear you again. The king and queen are far away. If the king is nearer, then it would be a win for if the king is over here, for example, over here, then it is a win for sorry, not in this in position. If a king is nearer over here, sorry, it is a win for white. This is also a draw. The king is on the 5th rank, but if it is on the 6th rank, 4th rank, it might be chance to draw. But still, in this position, if the king is on 5th rank, it is a draw. If it is on the 5th rank, even over here, then it is a draw. Because black, whatever the, for example, queen check, king b1, queen check, king goes over here, queen check, king comes here, queen check, king goes over here, queen check, king comes over here, queen check, king goes over here. The reason behind is that if you take, then it is a stalemate. Let's understand a famous example for this queen and king end game. Now the king is on 4th rank and the pawn is on c2. But the problem is that the king is very nearer to this king. Now it is a draw. The reason behind is that after queen b4 check and king moves to a2, now queen d2, pinning this king. Now if king comes over here, then king comes over here, queen b3. And after you make the queen, you are mated over here. And this is a very famous draw. It usually occurs in this type of line that king moves to a1, then king b3, allowing black to make a queen. And after he makes the queen, then queen a4 check. If king moves over here, then it is a mate over here. Otherwise, queen have to exchange himself, queen check, king here, queen mate. Remember, if the king is nearer to this pawn on c2 or whether on f2, then it is a win for the side which has a queen. So our topic of rook and queen endgames have been ended. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much.